Western Conference Finals and a doozy of a series against Oklahoma City. I feel whoever Houston matches up with, I think it's top heavy. I think it's OKC, Denver, Houston, and then I think there's a gap between the Lakers, the Spurs, the surprising Phoenix Suns. I think there's a gap there that's different. The Nuggets are really starting to separate themselves. They've been pretty healthy outside of Aaron Gordon going down and Christian Brown going down, and Jokic somehow, some way, is having like his best year ever. He did two things last night that I think we're going to show that were just mesmerizing to do. The one time and the one jumper from half court. It's insane the way he plays. And this team is so consistent. Jamal Murray's having a great year. He's looking like he's going to be a first-time All-Star. They're 6-2 at home, and they're 6-2 on the road, which I like, and I trust the team more like that. That's consistent both ways. Like the Golden State Warriors, they are not. They are like 5-1 at home and like 4-8 on the road. That's a problem come playoff time, especially when you're a team like the Warriors that aren't going to have home court advantage. The Nuggets are an elite offensive team. They're tied for first. They shoot 50% from the field. Like that is elite. They play offense elite, and they're a middle of the pack defense. I love the additions of Valanciunas. I love Bruce Brown coming back there. Peyton Watson has kind of shown flashes of what he can bring to the table. So this team has just been consistent. You hate to see Gordon and Brown go out, but when those guys are back, this team is one of the most versatile, deep, just solid units out there, and you know exactly what you're going to get from them. And it starts off with Jokic, who he just blows my mind every time I watch him play. It's ridiculous. The pass he made last night rocked my socks off.
Ooh, socks rocket.
Yeah, socks are rocket. I just don't want this to linger. I want to shine a light on Aaron Gordon. Like, he's been one of the best players on his team. He's been a person I feel like has benefited the most with playing with Jokic over these years. And now with him going out, with an injury, they're still being a successful team, but they're going to need him back in the lineup for sure for them to make a deep run. And I also like what Chandler just mentioned. I like the additions as well. I don't think Bruce Brown should have ever left after the championship, but I'm glad he found his way back, because I know you got to go out there and go get your cheese, and then you figure out what's best for you and your family. He was able to go get paid. Then he's able to also come back and have another opportunity to compete for a championship. Still think there's a huge gap between them and OKC though. I don't know if this is the battle.
Huge gap.
I do. Wow. I think OKC has just done a great job of just putting themselves in a position to be the clear favorite in the West. I don't see them as having a rival right now. I don't see them as having, a tough run. I know they had some 7-game series last year. I think that's different. I think that even we're talking about this being Jokic's best team and talent that he's played with. I think OKC is better this year than they were last year, and we still haven't seen them with Jalen Williams. So there's a lot of factors there when we start talking about Western Conference Finals and all of that. Now, I do think that the Denver Nuggets are going to be that team. I don't think it's going to be as competitive as we say, especially with these injuries lingering. So let's see what happens with that.
Interesting, Chandler. Not as competitive as you say, because do you think they're the closest in the West? The standings are a little jumbled anyways, but it's early. So is anybody else in the West even remotely going to take on the Thunder?
Houston's solid, but I don't trust them as much. But man, they have talent. The Lakers, obviously, what they do, the way they can score the ball, fully healthy. But no, I think it's going to come down to OKC and Nuggets. I don't think that gap is that wide, like Lou said. I think when you have a Jokic and you have a Jamal Murray and you have the depth that they have this year, adding a Cam Johnson instead of Michael Porter, I think made them better. Valanciunas has been solid. Again, Bruce Brown, Strother, that they have guys now that are kind of showing you flashes of what they're capable of. Obviously, the Oklahoma City Thunder, I don't know what to say bad about them. Like, this could be one of the greatest teams in the history of the NBA. They're 17-1. I think they're going for a historic season this year. They're deeper. They're deeper than the Denver Nuggets, and they've done this without their second best player. They're all defensive player. They're all-star Jalen Williams. So they're going to continue to get better. And I do think it's going to be a competitive series, but I think it's closer than we think, because Nikola Jokic is on a mission, and the things that he does on the basketball court are as good as they are defensively on OKC. They're not going to be able to stop this dude. So it's what these other guys can do. How big of X factors can they be? But man, I can't wait.
And
glad you mentioned that.
That's why.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was only going to respond to Chandler. Like, that's my only hang-up when it comes to Denver. The other guys. Can Peyton Watson be this guy consistently a third option or a third scorer for them? Can he do that consistently while Aaron Gordon is out for 4 to 6 weeks? That's a long time to not have somebody. It's also a long time that we haven't seen Jalen Williams either. Like it's a lot of different factors there. I just think OKC has turned into a plug and play team. I don't know if Denver has established themselves as one of those teams. Like if Jamal Murray goes out, I think we're having a different conversation, especially with Gordon already being out of the conversation. We see what OKC is doing without Jalen Williams. So that's the tail of it for me for both of these teams. I think OKC can still keep moving. They've proven that already.
I feel like we've teased it long enough. It's excruciating. The Jokic plays. There you go, Chandler. Sit back, relax. Let's take a little Jokic ride.
Surprised. This is the best pass I've ever seen in my life.
That's smooth. That's one of the best passes I've seen.
Look at the bench. Look at Memphis's bench up here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Watch their bench.
The white dude on the corner was like, holy shit.
Oh, my God.
Tried to hold it in here, and they couldn't do it. That was a dime.
They shouldn't. Listen, they have front row seats.
That's an incredible pass. And it's easy to play with somebody like that. When a guy can make plays like this, it makes it easy for you to be motivated and want to cut back door and want to get yourself open because you know that ball is going to be delivered and it's going to be on time and you're going to be able to run up your stats playing with somebody like Joker.
It's so funny.
There's certain guys that you play with a Rondo and Chris Paul, you keep your hands up. You're not supposed to do that.
I play with Andre Miller. Man, I play with Andre Miller, and it made me so engaged on the offensive end because I knew at any moment if I got open split second, I was getting that basketball. When you play with guys that can play make, and they make it fun to play with them, listen, bro, Joker is one of those guys, man.
He's a center.
He's center. I love him so much. Truly, tingles. There you go, Chandler. They're the tingles. You keep speaking of so many feelings in my heart. He's only averaging 30, 13, 11, 1.6 steals, 35 minutes a game, and he's shooting 63% from the field. I love that. He's the guy that everyone says doesn't care about basketball, and then we get to read things like that. Look, the SGA talks loud. I know they are. We're the dogs.
This doesn't he doesn't just stroll out of bed and do this.
Does
this
not.
guy works his tail off like this.
Yeah, imagine if he loved basketball, what these numbers would be. Is he the SGA talks loud, and I'm sure he hears all of it. So I do kind of think, is this a reminder from him to us? Just so you know, I'm still here and I'm awesome and I'm the best.
Here's the only problem. Here's the problem. When the Thunder go 71-11 or 10, whatever it is, that's going to give SGA the nod because his numbers are also ridiculous, and they're going to be the most consistent team. And if there's like a 6 to 10 game gap in between the Thunder and the Nuggets, you have to reward SGA because his numbers are going to be similar. But man, when you look at this, the triple-double, the 63%, the way he plays too, he takes jump shots, he takes threes, like he gets to it shouldn't happen like this. And there's no, look at that. I just got car sick just watching that highlight with him in and around. It's unbelievable. I just think the team success of the Thunder is inevitably going to outweigh, the team success of the Nuggets, and it's going to give SGA the nod. But you could argue this is this guy's best statistical season right now, and it's only going to continue to get better. And their team's also going to win a lot of games, so it'll be interesting. We always get confused on how the voting works and stuff. To me, it's the best team, and that's going to probably be SGA. So I think I'd have to give him the nod early, but these numbers are nauseating.
You know what this makes me think of? This makes me think of Laker fans getting on my case last week because I said Luka has to do something above and beyond to win the MVP. This guy is doing something above and beyond, and we're still talking about him being the runner-up in the MVP conversation. That's how much of a gap it is between these players and what they've been able to do for their respective organizations. Like, again, what Chandler just said, if these guys go out and win 70, 71 games, it really don't matter what your numbers are. His numbers are going to be there. They're going to be similar. He's going to get that nod, even with you averaging a triple-double, even with these past